I don't think you're going to get that around here. I don't know. You might have to go to the other side even.
This week on isletunes, you got your new PEI jams and some new-ish ones from a cross-section as varied as LaFunk, Jorby, Noah Malcolm, Gizmo, and Richard Wood. There's more, and they all have that new song smell. Yous ready, PEI? Let's get her done! How's she going, Prince Edward Island? I am your host, Adam Michael James, and you are listening to the May 15th, 2026 episode of the Music PEI Award-nominated isletunes. In a lot of ways, I feel like PEI's music scene is the province's best-kept secret. I mean, it generates more repertoire every week, and how many people are even aware of that fact? That's why isletunes is here, to give you a weekly taste of tracks that are basically made right under y'all's noses. You thought it was just about potatoes and Ann up in here? We're gonna get caught up on some of the newer output this island has to offer with some newish stuff I just didn't get around to playing yet. But first, a final reminder that the short film I made, Head War, which is based on the medical records and resulting poetry book and one-person show of one Sadie McCarney, screens at Beaconsfield Carriage House this Tuesday night, May 19th at 7:30. I took Sadie's written and spoken account of her experience with psychiatric inpatient care and visualized it, plus did up a quick little soundtrack to go with it. It's poignant, it's disturbing, it's funny, and it's hopeful, and I gotta say, we're really proud of it. There's no admission, but any free will donations will go directly to the PEI branch of the Canadian Mental Health Association, in conjunction with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, mind you. Tuesday the 19th at 7:30 at Beaconsfield Carriage House. Come on out and bolster mental health while supporting island filmmaking. Okay, here's a cognitive test, and better than the one Orange Folius keeps bragging about taking. I'll utter two words, and you tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Richard Wood. Ah, you pictured a fiddle, didn't you? Well, you'd be right. He should be most associated with the instrument, given he's brought his high-energy shows to far-off places like the North Pole and Afghanistan, and Maclean's magazine listed him as one of the top 100 Canadians of the 21st century. But back in the 20th century, Richard started as a step dancer, and it was only because he accompanied his dad to one of his fiddle lessons that it ever occurred to him to start rosining up bows. And aren't you glad he did? That led to his first album, recorded at age 15 in 1993, to his most recent Richard Wood Live, An Evening of Celtic Music 2. One, as it were, was his very first live album, and there was so much material there, it flowed over onto a second. Plus, since I didn't even mention Mother's Day in the last episode, I owe all you mothers something. This is Richard Wood with 2025's My Mother on isletunes, and you don't get to leave the table until you've heard every note. session musician, multi-instrumentalist, and expert in lumber Elijah McDougall, following up last summer's EP Sola with Hallways, just out May 2nd. That was its cut, History. Yeah, it's true, Elijah works with family business McDougall's Lumber Shacks, but he's been building a lot more music as of late. After playing drums on the albums of several others, including island country singer Nolan Compton, Elijah went solo in 2022, and he's become very prolific the last year or so. Whatever spirit's moving him, it's also got him playing most of the instruments on his recordings himself. Not surprising. Given his experience in construction, he certainly knows the importance of a good foundation. You've heard the phrase, we're here, we're queer, get used to it? Well, Noah Malcolm arrived here, as in the island music scene, 8 years ago, and yeah, he's got some LGBTQ plus cred to go with it, as do I, as if that's a newsflash. Noah's journey from self-taught to classically trained Music PEI award winner is far from over, as the Charlottetown music maker keeps making music to justify that descriptor. His latest, out this past March 12th, is a collab with the Halifax folksters Moira and Claire, and together they touch on a subject that's really oh so common with all of us. How many of us just say, I'm fine, when someone asks how we are? I suspect that's what Noah Malcolm, featuring Moira and Claire, mean when they sing about two-word answers, here on the one-word isletunes. Oh, speaking of words, there's a few in here that require this here little
isletunes content warning. Listener discretion is f***ing advised.
So if you could have like one tattoo, what would it be? Jukebox. Oh my god, it's too much.
I don't know what to do with my hands when you're talking to me. You're talking to me and I'm checking myself in your shades. You're so cool. So cool. Why don't I know what to say when you ask how I'm feeling? Do you want the easy answer or the real one? I wanna give you the real one. I wanna tell you that I feel like shit, and I wanna tell you that I'm over it, but you keep getting the two-word answers, two-word answers, two-word answers. Why does it take like an hour to decide what the hell I should wear when I know you'll be there at the party? You circle around me, you circle around, and when we finally meet, I freeze when you ask how I'm feeling. Do you want the easy answer or the real one? Baby, you could be the real one. Hey, I wanna tell you that I feel like shit, and I wanna tell you that I'm over it, but you keep getting the two-word answers, two-word answers, two-word answers. And I wanna tell you about my dream tattoo, and I wanna tell you that I'm into you, but you keep getting the two-word answers, two-word answers, two-word answers. I got something to say to you. I can't share if you want me to. I got something to say, but it's more than two, more than two. Oh, I got something to say to you. I can't share if you want me to. I got something more than a two-word answer, a two-word answer. And I wanna tell you that I feel like shit, and I wanna tell you that I'm over it, but you keep getting the two-word answers, two-word answers, two-word answers. And I wanna tell you about my dream tattoo, and I wanna tell you what I see for me and you, but you're getting the two-word answers, two-word answers, two-word answers. I wanna tell you that I feel like shit. Tell you that I'm over it. Tell you about my dream tattoo.
isletunes, bringing you the two-word answers of Noah Malcolm alongside the Halifax-based Moira and Claire. I'm going back to Hallie, to Hallie, to Hallie. Coming up, Samo Ain't Your Bitch. The Soldiers of Sound arm themselves, and Soul Filter goes unfiltered. PEI schools keep going till late June, but some educational entities in other places are done by now, or at the very least, higher institutions are in the middle of finals. How much have you studied? This is an open book test, so get your pencils and get ready to take notes from this week in PEI history. May 16, 1843, a cornerstone was laid in the Colonial Building by then-Island Governor Sir Henry Vere Huntley. The Colonial Building in question, of course, you know as Province House, which was designated a National Historic Site in 1966. Though an influx of visitors in the 70s caused the building to need restoring in the early 80s, good one, guys, the house is once again undergoing restoration, and has been since 2015. May 18, 1939, the Charlottetown Guardian reported that the biggest liquor seizure in recent years had gone down the night before at a barn in Daly's Corner near Wellington. The illicit alcohol was valued at $7,200, about $127,000 in today's money, and there were rumors that it had originally been obtained by the island's Liberal Party in anticipation of toasting that day's federal election on the island. Well, it turns out they did win, but PEI was kind of behind the times in terms of prohibition repeal. Ontario had lifted their booze ban in 1927 and Nova Scotia in 1930. The island, still obviously dry by 1939, was the last holdout, not decriminalizing alcohol until 1948. Reminds me of how PEI stubbornly ended up being the last province to join Confederation. You? May 21st, 1869, the Royal Gazette informed readers that a levee celebrating the Queen's birthday, in this case Victoria, would be held on June 2nd, the date to which England had recently moved the observation. The paper didn't specify why the move, nor could I find anything about it doing a quick Google search, but as you know, Queen Victoria was born on May 24th, making this party a full week after the event. I bet she was not amused.
Hey, what's good? It's Joe from The Funk. You're listening to isletunes.
Never too far. together. Holding you, want this to last forever.
If you don't have your bell bottoms and leisure suits on by now, you're doing it wrong. Disco dudes and dollies, LaFunk on isletunes with their absolute very latest Salty Sweet. If you're craving output from these guys, you don't have to get salty. This is one of several singles that have come out since LaFunk's debut EP Les Disco in 2023. Combining together to create these insane grooves are 4 vocalists and a 4-piece rhythm section, all led by Joe Chevry, or Joe Chev as he likes to be called. If he and his name sound familiar, it's because he also boogies down as part of the band The Souche, in which he is joined by fellow LaFunker Nico Romero. You wouldn't think a college would be responsible for shaping a province-wide music scene, but in this instance, Holland College is guilty as charged. That's in large part thanks to their vaunted School of Performing Arts program, from which several graduates each year go on to putting out records that make an impact around here. One such entity is Sam O, who started releasing music as I-Entity a while back, but now uses this moniker. Taking inspiration from Bjork, Radiohead, and Aphex Twin, Sam had back-to-back EPs in 2024 and 2025, Reach for the Stars and Strange Power, respectively. On May 1st, he marked 2026 in the books with the full album Don't Fail Me Now, and if he was known for blurring genres before, that ain't nothing compared to what you're gonna hear now. Synthwave and hyperpop transforms into something grungy with Sam O featuring Blamed, I hope I said that right. The track is Ain't Your Bitch, and it ain't no coincidence that this needs an
isletunes content warning. Listener discretion is f***ing advised.
Wait, empty me, my empathy is gone. Ain't no apprentice to the enemy, so long. Different entity, this MP3, my son. Envy me, but take jealousy. I can tell myself away, I can make it rain. After all, it's the sun of a long day. My shit all in a box, now I got to move it out you bugging, bitch, now I ain't on the way. Got away a second face, thinking no more. Say you would never tell a lie, fuck a brochure. Try my best to only cry behind closed doors. Go ahead and beat me down, I'm dipping out of pretty lucky I could read about fast now. Screaming at me, that's the way I'll die now. So pathetic, I would rather take a drag out. You outraising every single rep. Heartless, swimming in the stardust. Take a look at me and say you think I'm harmless. Find me on the track, running through the darkness. I can be a bitch, I ain't your bitch regardless.
Now when I look at my phone, I don't know how to react. Traversing no man's land just to show my act, but it's a fact. Well, I'm dodging straight, but still have time to attack. I know from a book of humanity, you won't understand my path, cause I'm unique. But aren't we all? You think I'm comfy while I'm here, still out in the fall. You send me a text and you think it'll do nothing at all. But don't you know, color show and death is right above us all. I see doors open and closing all at the same time. You taught me that being too nice can easily be a crime. You taught me that honesty doesn't come from a phone's chime. If I'm forced to live and die, gotta live my life like it's mine.
Pretty lucky that I got an easy way out. Screaming in my face if
really that proud. Fuck 12 and all the losers that you keep around. Got me raising every single one now. I'm powerless, swimming in the stardust. Take a bit of every power you can harness. Climbing miles away, still speeding through the darkness. I could be the picture that you'll disregard. Say you got what you got and you don't got upside. Am I really that ungrateful? Can't trust myself, were they really that hateful? Freaked out, man, I'm really unstable.
They always say you got what you got and you don't get upset. Am I really that ungrateful? Can't trust myself, were they really that hateful? Freaked out, man, I'm really unstable.
In New York City, there's a hamburger chain called Five Guys, but these particular Five Guys are Nebo with their super recent release Love is a Choice on iTunes. Count 'em 5, Cameron Menzies, Sergei Varmalov, Garrett Sherwood, Liam Corcoran, of course from 2 Hours Traffic, and the glue that holds it all together, Neb Kuyunjic. They saw their debut in 2024 with the album Metaphysical Machines, and since Neb is a philosophy professor in addition to a tune buster outer, it's not surprising Nebo's lyrics take a more reflective approach. Providing lead vocals here is Maria Campbell, and this wasn't even her first rodeo working with these fellas, who themselves span 3 generations. Yes, love is a choice. Choose wisely, y'all. While we're on such calls to action, here's a dude who has only just started releasing material, though he's apparently got quite the catalog of stuff he's been working on. Shane Steven Sand sees what's going on in the world of late and responds with music that tackles the self-destruction of humankind, the rise of dictators, and the importance of the environment. And really, for as fun as frivolous tunes are, like how many guilty pleasures do we all have, music is at its best when it has something to say. For the Triple S's debut outing, The Soldiers of Sound, out April 4th, he recruited producer Adam Gallant and musicians Logan Richard and Josh and Sam Langell of Absolute Losers. This is Shane Stephen Sand on iTunes with the title track of this album.
All right, soldier, drop down and give me 20.
They were driving by in a limo just to see what was going down. They heard about the latest memo and that they lived on the outside of town. My place out in the space so that you can hear the soldiers of sound. Holes on the highway, street tires, found religions becoming bankers. Same pleasure doing business with you. Danger in your peaceful policy pranksters. This place out in the space so that you can hear the soldiers of sound. Wife's looking for a slow cooker while I'm burning up inside. She's gonna need a nice cute crusher to cool this feverish ride. My face out in the space so that you can hear the soldiers of sound. Sent a message the other day just to say I was still around. You got yourself out in the spotlight and you're living in the here and now. My place out in the space so that you can hear the soldiers of sound.
Make music, not war. Shane Stephen Sand with the title track of his debut album, The Soldiers of Sound, 10 hutting its way around iTunes. Still to come, Jorby gives you reason to hate him, Soul Filter writes letters to themselves and saves the postage, and Gizmo blasts into outer space. Calendars are filling up as thermometers around here tick up, and if it's a live show from an artist you want to pick up, then listen up to Gigs to Dig across Prince Edward Island. Tuesday, May 19th, Joss Rayom and Bobby Dove are playing at the Trailside Music Hall. Thursday, May 21st at the Trailside, it's Jack Pine Folk Club featuring host Shane Pendergast. Also, May 21st, Island Jazz Sopa Grad Night is happening at Baba's Lounge. Friday, May 22nd, Amanda Jackson with Route 225. Guess where they're playing? The Trailside. Looking into next week and beyond, May 23rd, it's Common Sound Concert Series featuring Sando Manzone, Ray Noor, Romy Munkris, and Palmer. They're playing at the Beaconsfield Carriage House. Also, May 23rd, Soul Filter is at Founders Hall. May 31st, it's Blue Streak and the Stiff Family. They're doing a fundraiser concert at the Barn Floor in Crapo. And June 5th, it's Richard Wood Live, Fiddle Fandemonium 4 at Center 150 in Summerside. And don't forget, Baba's Lounge holds an open mic night every Wednesday at 9 p.m., hosted by the one and only Kin Lee.
Hey, I'm Carl Lass, and this is iTunes.
iTunes F-bomb alert!
How can you justify yourself? Your scarlet letter says you are. When all is done
me down again. I don't wanna know you. Take back the things that I did to make amends. Before you could break me, I tried to cut you off at the start of it. I know what I told you. There's nothing left of it all at the end of this. I don't care if you hate me. 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 I tried to let it go, but you kept coming for my soul. I let it die for a reason. Now you're trying to revive it. Can't you see that I'm living my life that way I wanted it to be? Leave me alone, won't let you have any more. I'm crying and fighting and trying to fend off the giant mess you made me. Tried to hide and confide inside your eyes and your smile, but in the end you drove me crazy. I know you try to bring me down again. I don't wanna know you. Take back the things that I did to make amends. I don't care if you hate me. I tried to cut you off at the end of this. I don't care if you hate me. There's nothing left of it all at the end of this. I don't care if you hate me.
Summerside lo-fi lobbyist Jorby with a featured assist by Chad Rockwell and a selection from his new album Not Dead Yet. You just heard Hate Me on isletunes. What's to hate? Jorby started dropping singles in 2023, but March 20th saw the release of this first full-fledged record, and it continues his themes of music having a healing and unifying power. Jorby's always had that raw and unapologetic thing going on in his tracks, but it's clear it's also important to him to embrace struggle in his work so that listeners can relate and find hope in it. If we had to define his genre-jumping output, you could also add emo, alt-pop, and rock to the mix, though did y'all get a little bit of chiptune out of this jam? I got a little bit of chiptune out of this jam. Like Jorby, Soul Filter also works out of Summerside, and this four-piecer is Ronnie Arsenault on bass with Andy Adams on drums, led by husband and wife team Mike and Karen Penton. They first brought their combo of in-your-face 90s-style rock and introspective lyrics to listeners' ears in 2018 with a series of singles that led up to their debut album 2019's A Minor Conspiracy. They put out follow-up singles in 22 and 23, but this one is funky fresh, as in from April 22nd, 2026, and the band calls it, quote, a cathartic journey through the darkness of insecurities and surrender of self-acceptance. The outdated narratives we cling to, like that dusty shoebox of old letters kept hidden in the closet, it's about acknowledging these stories, understanding their impact, and choosing to let them go. Unquote. That's a lot for a 3.5-minute song, but Soul Filter can pull it off. Here they are with Letters to Myself on isletunes. Soul Filter with some self-professed Alanis Morissette meets Dido meets alt-rock goodness, otherwise known as their latest track, Letters to Myself. And I can tell from the postmark that it was addressed to isletunes. You think of the word gizmo, and you probably go straight to the cute little mogwai from Gremlins, but the word itself developed some 40 years before that by the U.S. Marines and Navy, who came up with it as lingo for any old thing that you can't put a name to. PEI has its own Gizmo, as in the four-piece indie rock band who has put a name to their brand of lo-fi slacker rock with some vintage influences thrown in. Their introductory EP Buddy System came out in 2023 and got them a lot of attention, and they're back as of just this past week with their first new material since. Should we gather from this that a new EP or even a full album is to follow? We'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, this is Gizmo with their newest rock fest, Celestial. So galaxy shaking, it's deserving enough to be in
isletunes World Premiere.
Gizmo with their brandest of the brand new Celestial on isletunes. It's not just an herbal tea anymore. Episode 123 is done and dusted over here, and I will warn you now, there's not going to be a new episode next week. Full disclosure, I got to roll to Halifax for some dental funness, and between the ride over and the ride back, I'm just not going to have enough time to put one of these puppies together. You'll survive. After that, it's 3 more episodes left in this 3rd season, with the finale being a recording of the live episode that's happening at the Trailside on June 10th at 7 o'clock. Scott Parsons, Jay Diss, and the aforementioned Nico Romero from Le Funk and the Souche will be there to entertain you, and the musical guest list ain't done yet. I've just been a little busy promoting the screening of the short film Head War that's showing Tuesday the 19th at 7:30 over at Beaconsfield Carriage House. Lots going on here in AMJ World. If you like isletunes and what it's about, you can help support it either by PayPaling some dinero to amj@isletunes.ca or becoming a subscriber on Patreon for $5 a month, which will get you access to exclusive videos of extended interviews and live performances. You can also satisfy your need for merch over at isletunes.creator-spring.com. All fundages go toward paying for this mofo, which includes distribution services and music I buy and other web-related things. Musical contribution to the isletunes theme by Kaylin McCauley and John Hashem. Show concept by Rocky O'Neill. Coordination assistance by Jackie Robichaux. I'm Adam Michael James, and as we wrap this up, I know how much in the world sucks right now, especially south of this border. I'm sick of thinking about it, much less talking about it, but avoiding it ain't gonna make it go away. Up here, we don't really have any control over U.S. stuff. Well, I'm still an American citizen, so I sent in my ballot for the California primary a few days ago. But we do have control over what happens up here, so don't let Canada go the fascist route, okay? I know y'all like to borrow from American stuff like TV shows and music and whatnot, but not now, for real. In times like this, it's important to take the words of Dutch diplomat Gijs de Vries to heart. Ultimately, freedom and democracy are stronger than fear and tyranny. You know it. Thanks for listening, PEI. See yous in a couple of weeks.